Hi, welcome back. My name is Rachel and I'm an artist, and today I'm going to be doing two different paintings and they're both ocean scenes. So the first one is this one. Look how cute she is. But the other one is maybe not as cutesy, but I wanted to explore ocean and depth and vastness even further. Look how pretty. So for the first painting, I had this canvas lying around that I don't know what I painted originally. It has been sitting there, I think, for well over 6 years at least. And I had covered it with thick blue paint to just kind of give it a new base, let it sit there for a while. And I decided one day that I just wanted to practice doing waves. I was like, this is a cute little square. Let me get some practice in, get the wheels flowing again, because waves, they seem easy, but they're not. And certain waves, all waves are different. They move and they kind of have like this crisscross pattern because the waves. And so I started practicing, and also I got to use different techniques for these paintings. I used not only brushes, but I used my palette knife. I wanted to give it some crispy, frothy, foamy waves cutting in, not just, when you're out in the water and it's smooth, or there's waves, but then they have like little caps. That's the vibe I was going for. And then as I was painting that, I was like, imagine being out at sea. And it's starting to get really bad out. And this is where I was like, maybe I've watched too many, horror movies, or not horror, thriller movies, because I was like, imagine getting lost at sea, and now you're just like, oh. Well, that's what led to this painting. Imagine being lost at sea and you're drowning. Well, this painting I just felt like I had to do it. It was fun. Again, it was another old canvas that was sitting around, and it had these geometric lines on it, and I decided that I wanted to keep them. I didn't want to get rid of them. I thought they would add to the painting and highlight the downward depth, the sinking feeling. And again, I used palette knife. I used my fingers in this one. I also used the cap of a tube of paint, and I just played around with, adding little bubbles to add to it. I didn't want to make it super realistic. I just kind of let the emotions flow, and I felt that like I put my head in that space of what it would feel like. I was gonna make a realistic person or hand, but I thought it'd be even creepier if I just painted my hand, and at the bottom, let me see if I can get this in, all the way at the bottom, whoop, over here, I painted my hand and I just pressed it onto the canvas, because I'm like, something feels even more real about that. Like, it's not just a painting of a person that looks real, it's the markings of a real person. So those are my thoughts on these paintings, and I can't wait for you to see them come together. And I will see you next time. I hope you enjoy the experimental art. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but art is subjective. It speaks to people in different ways. And sometimes, even if I'm not the fan of a piece, if I hear how it was made or the thought behind it, it can change my idea of what a painting means or how I feel towards a painting, and I can appreciate it. And it makes me maybe like the painting more. It still may not be my cup of tea, but I can appreciate the thought, effort, and time behind it. So, let me know how you feel about experimental art, and I will see you next time. Bye.